January 6, 2011. Well, I guess this really means it's really the end. I've been dreading writing this entry and I wasn't going to, but that didn't really seem right. It's strange reading your last entry about how what we have is special, knowing that 3 weeks later it was over. I guess it had been for a while, and when it became official you didn't even care. I guess we were going through the motions, pretending it was still there, but it was already mostly gone the last time you were here, and that really freaked me out. But being home for Christmas when I was supposed to be there almost equally freaked me out. I suppose the delay in my sending your things back was kind of some defensive measure on my part, not really hoping things would change, but more wanting to cover up some of the rawness left behind. And even then, I'm not sure if I'm sad about losing you or the future we had fantasized about. It's funny to think that our whole relationship was based on that fantasy. I guess our relationship was a fantasy, something wished for, but never really attained. I think part of the reason I became distant is because I knew that someday you were going to figure out what you wanted to do with your life, and that it wasn't going to be what we had planned. The whole anthropology thing was you having no idea what you wanted out of life, and expecting that your teachers knew better than you did. I was so afraid for our entire time together that you were going to wake up one day and find yourself. But you always told me it wasn't going to happen. So when you finally told me that you had changed your mind and our little plan no longer even had a slim chance, I just wanted to die. It's funny that when you woke up, it was my dream that ended while you suddenly beheld a shining future. There's no better feeling than finally becoming self-aware, and I don't begrudge you that. It may sound like I'm blaming you or that I'm bitter towards you, but I'm not. Mostly I'm bitter at myself for dreaming. And I feel like I'm a step closer to being that bitter old man from your dream, but I still have a little hope for myself. I want for your life to be everything you want it to be. I guess your departure from Anthro means that at least there won't be any embarrassing accidental encounters at lectures or in the field. You will always be a part of who I am. Even expression as simple as is forever changed. Joseph. January 10th. I wanted to give that last entry a few days to make sure it didn't sound too petulant. I guess it doesn't. It's just so hard to know what to say to sort of wrap things up. You were such a major part of my life for so long that it's strange that you're not anymore. I still think about you for a dozen different reasons throughout the day. Things I see or people I say remind me of you all the time. I know we could stay friends and continue to talk, but I think because I became accustomed enough to that being the whole of our relationship, if we ever continued that, I might never move on. I'm still terrified of trying to talk to girls again. There's this movie, of course, called The Thin Red Line. It's about some soldiers engaged at Guadalcanal during World War II, and all the personal thoughts and memories they have and how they've dealt with the trauma of the war. One of the soldiers was an army engineer working offshore somewhere, and he complained to his commanding officer that he missed his wife so much that he wished he could resign his commission. The officer accepted his resignation, then immediately conscripted him to a frontline combat unit in the Pacific just to fuck him over. All through the movie, the soldier has these amazing, soft, sensual visions of his wife, and narrates how he loves her and lives through every day thinking of her. Of course, at the end of the movie, he gets a letter asking for a divorce because she got so lonely that she found someone new, and she begged him to forgive her because she never wanted to hurt him. It was just the loneliness eating away at her humanity. I feel like this is exactly what happened to us, but in both directions simultaneously. I never wanted to hurt you, or ever make you cry or make you sad or lonely. I never wanted it to be over, but I knew that it had to be simply to preserve our own sanity or humanity or both. Geez, I'm totally crying. I hope you don't think that I blame you, and I hope you don't blame me, and I hope even more that you can forgive me for the pain that I know our situation has caused. I think it was fucked from the start, and we both agreed to be naive together for a while, until it just couldn't sustain itself anymore. And that's just about the best thing I can come up with.